Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we've got another daily dose of Dismal Disney for you because I think we're going to have a lot of doses of Dismal Disney in the months and years possibly to come. If you look off to the side here, the stock market's not doing very well.
Yeah.
It's not doing very well. And that is going to affect attendance at Disney theme parks. Obviously.
They're admitting there's a recession. You don't say.
You don't say.
No, we never figured that one out.
So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Disney's reorganization. Now, they changed the headline. This is coming from Deadline. They said that Disney reorganization looms ahead of first earnings report since Bob Iger's return. The original headline was Disney reorganization and layoffs loom. And they took the layoffs out because apparently it's too harsh, but I guarantee you there will be layoffs.
I guarantee it too.
We're going to talk.
We knew that. They've been saying that was going to happen.
But they don't want people to feel bad.
Oh, they've been saying it. It's not a surprise.
They don't want people to feel bad. So we're going to talk about that, but mostly we're going to talk about just how Disney is doubling down on catering to the super rich when we're running out of super rich people.
Well, okay, for example, I did a thing, I put a post up and I put it on Pirates and Princesses yesterday. It wasn't on there long, it sold out. And I understand this person is a couture brand. I get that. But they're trying to cash in on their ownership of Titanic. So they're doing Titanic 25th anniversary merchandise. They had a purse that was $4,595. And you get to pay $330 shipping and then tax. So by the time you're done, you're paying like what, $5,500, $5,600 for this stupid purse. And it sold out.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But that's how out of touch they are. Like we're gonna cash in a Titanic quick. $5,000 bags.
Oh boy. So yeah, I think speaking of James Cameron, Avatar 2 is past $2 billion, and I think that this is giving them a little bit of a boost, but they don't have anything else in the pipeline that's going to do this well for quite some time.
No.
So I have to wonder how long until the $5,000 Avatar bags, fanny packs or something.
Yeah, they'll do something.
Granola warmer.
Granola warmer.
Warm your granola. Hair care products here. I don't know. But let's talk about all this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, finally over 290,000 subs.
Yay!
Thank you for the support. Please subscribe if you have not done so already. YouTube is up to shenanigans this month. Seems to have normalized, but at the beginning of the month, they were actually taking analytics away for a couple of days from people.
And then weirdness happened.
And some weirdness happened, and it seemed like we were stalling out, but now things seem to be normalizing again. So thank you so much for the support. So yeah, Disney is going to reorganize.
Again?
Yes.
They did a couple years ago.
They're going to reorganize. They're basically going to walk back.
I'm sure they're going to reorganize.
They're going to reorganize. So Bob Iger's back. He's basically going to undo a lot of what Bob Chapek had done. As I understand it, there are going to be layoffs. Disney is in turmoil. There's this proxy war going on with this investor, Nelson Peltz, I think it's Peltz. And, it's a huge mess. So, now their stock is doing better. The stock's actually over $100 last time I checked. So that is good.
I'm glad I bought it when it dropped down to like 86 or whatever it was. Or
yeah, see, I actually cashed out.
84. I got it. Then I got it all of it when it was really low.
I cashed out higher than this, but it's going up again. So I think that's because of Avatar, honestly. But here's the thing.
Well, and then they're going to reorganize, and there's reports they're going to lay off and reorganize. They're tightening their belt.
Right.
So that means the stock's going up.
Right. So they're going to have to learn a very painful lesson, and this is one that Universal actually is learning, that if you appeal to the middle class families that Disney left behind, it might benefit you financially in the long run. You've got a broader customer base, because here's the thing: Disney loses a handful of whales during the recession, and it's going to hurt them a lot worse than losing a couple of middle class families. So when you bet on big spenders.
I think big spenders are getting tired of it too, because with the way the economy is, they can go other places for a much better deal and actually go to like real Europe.
Well, that is brought up in this article, so we'll talk about that. Right. This is coming from Fox Business. It's been all over the place, actually. Disney Divide: How Disney World caters to big spenders while working families pay the price.
And I'm sitting here like, you don't say. You know what? Good job figuring that out after everybody's been saying it for years.
So there was a guide that was put out there, and basically what the guide is saying is that the only way to get the full Disney experience that is promised in commercials and all that is to go hire a VIP tour guide.
Well, they're not wrong.
And spend about $10,000 for a trip.
Or know what you're doing.
Or know what you're doing.
Okay, because truth be told, if you know what you're doing, you can get most, if not all of it, if you're smart about it. Like, I know it sounds like I'm bragging, but I'm not. We took my sister and my nephew. They wanted to go, and we were down with them. And when we were there, I knew what I was flipping doing, and because I knew what I was doing, I was able to score the lightning lanes. I was able to score, the different times you could use Genie Plus. I knew where to hit. To hit there to get around it. So we pretty much did everything they wanted to do. And if they didn't get everything they wanted to do during the day, we came back in the evening when there was nobody around. There was a lot thinner crowds, and we did it then. So you don't have to have the VIP if you know what you're doing. But I'll tell you what, it's way easier. Way easier.
Yeah, so...
Because we've done it.
You can, but it's very hard. I mean, it is very expensive. You can't just show up at Disney anymore. People think you can just show up spontaneously and get to do everything, and there's no possible way.
Lines are terrible.
They've actually organized it in such a way that you can't do that.
Well, they did a study, and they said, at least in Disneyland, you are waiting longer in lines with Genie Plus than you were with FastPass.
I can believe it.
Oh, yeah. Everybody knows that was going to happen.
So, yeah, data shows that those who would most like to visit the theme parks are the people who can't afford it. They said that this new article claims the only way for families to enjoy themselves at Disney is to spring for the VIP treatment. Earlier this week, Town and Country's Danielle Stein Chiswick recounted her family's recent trip to Disney World in The Fancy Girl's Guide to Disney, likening the cost to the equivalent of an African safari or trip to Paris. Again, you can go to actual destinations to fake Paris, while insisting the added price of high-end hotels and the $600 plus private VIP tours on top of the already costly trip will make it worthwhile. Actually, it's not just that. I don't know if they're talking about the behind-the-scenes stuff. If you get a VIP tour guide, you are spending that pretty much per hour, I think.
Yeah, the behind-the-scenes stuff's great. But here's the thing. If you're just going to Disney once and you want to go ride stuff, those are fun for people who go a lot because it takes up a whole day sometimes or hours and hours of your time. So unless you want to spend a lot of time on a tour that you're not really riding things, I wouldn't recommend it. But the VIP tour guides, if you can afford it, are definitely worth the money. But it's a lot of money, and it's gone up significantly in the last few years.
The brutal truth is Disney is far more crowded and costly than you were a kid.
It's far more crowded and costly than it was 3 years ago.
Yeah. After you've purchased the flights, the hotel, and the very expensive daily admission to the parks, you can expect to spend most of your day waiting on lines that stretch 2 hours long. It's a depressing return on investment. The only way around this is, you guessed it, throw more money at the problem. Basically, Disney is an app at this point.
What gets me is they keep saying they're losing money, but then you go to the parks and they are nuts to butts. I don't get it.
It's the undesirable mix,
I guess.
The unfavorable mix. Many Disney fans are already feeling tapped out on the price, and for many, it's out of reach. Last year, Fox Business spoke with several visitors at Disney World who complained that the cost of their vacation was more than they expected. One family of 4 expressed sticker shock over their trip that cost $10,000 once airfare was included.
Okay, I know this sounds like you're like, wow, $10,000. I've been hearing more and more. I'm on these Disney boards. Incognito. But I've been hearing more and more and more people saying about how much they spent. Like one family was like, we lived on ramen and scrimped and saved to get $10,000. People are like, $10,000, that's insane. And I'm like, no, that's probably if you want to do fun stuff and actually get to do stuff, and you want to have food and you want to go to the restaurants and stuff, that's probably going to cost you.
Now, here's where it gets kind of crazy. And I actually do believe this. This is why so many people are going into debt to go to Disney World, but also it's very eye-opening because this would explain why things like the Galactic Star Cruiser, which is a complete failure, everybody's calling it out now. The Star Cruiser is a failure.
Remember when we did and other people like us did and we were just haters and told, you know what? It pisses me off so much. Side tangent for a second. It pisses me off so much because we took so much shit. Like we had media, lost media, we're going to get media back. We, have taken unbelievable amounts of shit from like the pixie dusters and stuff for years because it was unfashionable to call it out. But now that it's fashionable to call it out, it's completely fine. And we still take shit.
Yeah,
but we did it before any of them did.
I know. And what's really interesting is the people that are standing for Disney the hardest, most of them can't actually afford Disney, which is so weird. Because look at this. It said, soon after that, Insider published a poll that found the people most likely to say they would definitely or probably visit a Disney theme park had annual incomes of less than $75,000. while those making between $150,000 to $199,000 were least likely to show interest in a Disney vacation. So the more money you make, the less desirable Disney is, but the audience they're chasing is the audience that has the disposable income to go drop $10,000, $15,000, $20,000.
Right.
But they don't want to go to Disney.
Well, you'll drop several $1,000s just for a day using a tour guide.
Yeah. Study released last month by Lending Tree, we talked about this, found many families are willing to put at least some of their Disney vacation on a credit card, with 18% of respondents admitting they took on debt to take that trip. The research found that parents with children under 18 were most likely to take on the additional debt, and 71 who overspent the park said they did not regret it. I'm of two minds of that, because I know our early family trips, we had to, take out money to go.
Well, we mostly just used, everybody jokes, income tax return, Disney money. Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah, but you're going to throw, incidental expenses on a card or whatever. And it always winds up being more than you think it's going to be. But
yeah, whatever you're planning for Disney, add way more.
Now, I don't regret the trips that we took when the kids are younger, or they were younger, because, again, those are memories you're never going to have again.
It wasn't as bad then.
It wasn't as bad then. I'm going to be honest. I think at this point, if I were to do it current year, if the kids were still small, I'd say let's just get a Vrbo or something and go to a beach and, stay there for a couple of days rather than go to Disney. Because I don't think there is a good return on investment. I think it's way overpriced. But it's just so interesting that they don't understand their audience. The people that want to go are the middle class family, even lower class families, desperately want to go to Disney, but they're pricing them out and chasing the people that don't want to spend the money that Disney wants them to spend.
Well, it's funny because I made a joke when they were talking about some of the Titanic merchandise, and they had these high priced things. And I was like, I made a joke about, well, Disney finally got the cast system they've been trying to get, because that's what they've been doing.
Yeah,
they've been setting up a cast system at the Disney parks.
Disney, it kind of reminds me of, what was that one movie you watched with Austin Land?
Oh, yeah.
Where they had the budget cut trip. Yes. They had the good trip, and then you get to be the servant or whatever, because that was the budget cut. That's basically what they're doing now. Although Disney declined to comment, of course, in response to the Fancy Girls Guide or prices in general. The company said it's listening to guests and recently made a number of changes to make its parks more budget friendly.
I'm trying to figure out where, because
free parking again, which they took away.
They're budget friendly. Yeah, free parking at Walt Disney World came back for the hotels, which everybody hated, and it didn't last very long. But Disneyland got lower price tickets, more $104 a day tickets. They didn't do that at Disney World. Disneyland is getting free attraction photos with when you buy a ticket to go to the parks. Disney World's eventually someday going to do that. You get free attraction photos if the photo pass ones, if you buy Genie Plus. You still have to spend more money. So no, there is no fucking value. I'm tired of hearing this. You show me the value. You show it to me, Bob, because I'm not seeing it. All I'm seeing is prices going up and up and up, amounts going smaller and smaller. You're charging $4,600 for a fucking purse because you weren't trying to cash in on Titanic because you overspent. Disneyland, they're getting $104 a day ticket deals. Disney World tickets just keep going up and up. They don't even bring any annual passes back for Disney World for you can buy them, but Disneyland had them back. But they didn't bring back Disney World. I'm seeing a very uneven thing here, Bob. So if you're saying you're bringing back value, where is it? And where is it for people on the East Coast? Because I ain't fucking seeing it.
Oh my God.
You can call me.
That needs to be Comcast's tagline for Super Nintendo World. They need to have Luigi in Mario Kart driving by being there's no fucking value, Bob.
Yes.
Staring at the screen.
I don't know what they're talking about. Meanwhile, Universal, when they have their Express Pass, is a lot more expensive, but you get to use it on pretty much everything, where you're not limited like you are at Disney. But Universal is kicking your ass, and they're going to continue to kick your ass, because they're going to be bringing it, and they're actually catering to the people that you're pushing away.
Yeah. Yeah.
My friend who works here says she works 40 plus hours a week now because they have so many people and they're so busy.
The last time we went to Universal was for Halloween Horror Nights, and I have never seen crowds like that in any theme park ever. And it just happened to be, it was a 3-day weekend. It was Columbus Day.
That's why you should have gone the 3-day weekend.
Yeah.
It was not very smart.
But I wasn't really thinking, but I'm Universal historically has not been that busy. And this is before Nintendo opened, you know?
Yeah, they have a whole other park coming.
It was absolutely bonkers, insane. And it's going to get busier again with Nintendo opening. It's going to get busier. And I hate to break it to you. Every ticket sold, money goes into J.K. Rowling's pocket.
I know, you keep saying that. Well, it's funny too because they're going to have Epic Universe open by 2025. It takes Disney so effing long to do anything.
How many years for the Tron coaster?
It's been
One
ridiculous.
coaster.
They announced it in like 2017.
It was like a year or two after it opened in Shanghai. They said, "Hey, we're going to open
Yeah,
one."
2017. I'm pretty sure. 6 years later, and it still hasn't opened. I think it's coming at April 4th.
Yes.
6 years later, and of course, when they're going to open it, it's only going to be Lightning Lane.
Yes.
I mean, or like Virtual Queue. I'm sorry, Virtual Queue. I'm sure they're going to Lightning Lane. I was joking with our one writer Mike today. They're going to probably start charging people $50 a person if you don't get Virtual Queue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. So anyway, they've got quite the problem. Layoffs are coming, and I think they're chasing. What was it? Chasing a phantom audience, because the people that have the money are going to keep their money. They're going to go someplace else. They're not going to spend it on Disney. They're going to have to keep slashing prices until they get it right. And by the time they figure it out, I think Universal's going to have their other park open, and it's a lot more attractive to go over there and spend a lot less money than it is to go to Disney and try to figure all this out. So we're going to wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.